than right now? How much pressure is on Matthew Stafford in this game?
Tons. And I'm going to tell you, I mean, he can pretend there's not. He recognizes the urgency. No. There's a ton of pressure. This man is recognized as a great football player, yet never won a playoff game, okay? That it's because of the organization. Well, maybe that organization thinks it's because of you, all right? The Rams trade for him to get him to a Super Bowl. There's a ton of pressure on this guy. I remember feeling pressure as a first-time head coach because my dad never won a playoff game as a head coach. So I can just imagine the kind of pressure this guy's feeling.
I'm curious, Coach. I mean, do you think is it one he has to win? Is it the divisional? Do you think he has to go all the way to the Super Bowl to prove his worth? Matt Stafford.
I don't believe that, but there's going to be plenty that do. They traded him. They gave up 2 first-round picks and Jared Goff, the first overall pick, for this guy to win Super Bowls. But I think specifically he needs to get at least to win today. He needs it.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on the Rams, I think. I mean, I have something, on both of these quarterbacks I have some problems with, but the Rams in terms of everything that they've done, I said it earlier this year that, McVay and this organization, they've traded away all their excuses here. This is it. This is the time right here. This is where you really have to show. I think it's 2 playoff games. They got to win the wild card. They got to win in the divisional. You get them to the championship game round. All right, good. That's a good year for them.
Jared Goff did that.
He did.
Yeah.
So I want to see. So you think Stafford needs to win a Super Bowl to prove his worth?
I'm saying from a fan's perspective, if you're watching this move and what you gave up for him, look, it's an unrealistic expectation, sure. But if you get rid of the guy that took you to the Super Bowl, don't you think if you're going to get rid of him
I'm with you.
and give up all those picks, you got to win
on that, the sort of common sense thing that he has to equal that, right? Because he's supposed to be better. But I just know anything can happen in those weekends in terms of something happens, special teams, one play, and all of a sudden they've lost. So getting a couple wins is big for him. I think that's important. Now, let me talk about Kyler Murray here on this other side, okay? Because Kyler Murray's got a little front runner in him, if you ask me, okay? Because I am tired of seeing him towards the end of the games on the bench, head down, all of that stuff. You talk about the Cardinals and the way they struggle towards the end. Maybe it's because their quarterback has that type of attitude. I've watched him closely here, and I'm sick of seeing it, okay? He's got a little front runner in him. So these 2 quarterbacks both have a lot to prove, and I'm glad it's on Monday night because everybody gets to see it.
Yeah, you're talking about bad body language, and that's the goal of a defense. You'll hear defensive coaches, defensive players talking about, hey, let's get him to bad body language. And quite honestly, you're right.
Really? I haven't heard that one.
Well, you guys did things differently in New England, obviously. But losing
We need to do that next time.
That bad language.
4 out of your last 5, you're not looking very good. I will say this, though. Kyler Murray has something in him where he can rise to the level of the occasion. So, yeah, sure, he looked pretty mediocre against Seattle, a team that, was struggling this year. But he went down to Dallas and went toe-to-toe, and that's in Jerry world against Dak Prescott and all those weapons. So don't be surprised if Kyler Murray comes out in Wild Card Weekend on the final game of the weekend on Monday Night Football and does things that they're jaw-dropping type things. That would be my one caution to thinking about, hey, this team was really bad down the stretch.
I remember last week or maybe 2 weeks ago, we sit here and talked about, I think, Mac, you were the one doing something on Matthew Stafford and talking about what he did in Detroit. Hopefully he's not bringing that to Los Angeles. But, Matt, that's what I've seen over the last couple of weeks. Just throwing the balls up. You put the tape on there with Calvin Johnson, I think last week to OBJ. So if there's one of the 2 quarterbacks or going in this weekend that has the star right over him, Rex, yes, it is Matthew Stafford right there. Because why? We've seen him at his best this season for the Rams, and we've seen him at his worst. But the reason why I think I'm more concerned about Matthew Stafford is, we sit up here over the last couple of weeks to talk about the year and the success that Cooper Kupp is having. You're talking about the Triple Crown.
Yeah.
That is something hard to achieve. As a wide receiver position, I don't know what every position is of achieving the Triple Crown, but that is for the wide receiver position. But you have Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp to be able to make that type of magic. Now it's the postseason. Can you take what you did in the regular season and bring it to the postseason? You have OBJ, you have Cam Akers coming back. So, yes, the target is on Matthew Stafford. We just want to see what he does with that Ram logo.
Now, just real quick, why I can't wait, why I love this game, it's a true color game, all right? Kyler, Stafford, we're going to see who they are.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.